far as I know, yeah, no one else has been able to finagle USA Cycling.
And you were 15,
Wow.
4 years ago, or?
Yeah, about 4, yeah. No, it honestly feels like it's been forever ago. I mean, I'm 29 now, so like it, over 10 years. But it was insane. It was so freaking cool.
Dude, that's awesome. I think, you know what, you guys, I think we are just now live. I apologize. I had to hit go live on YouTube. So thank you everyone for joining. But I think we got to hear Cierra's amazing story as a professional downhill racer. So this even makes it even more special that we're going to Rampage, baby. We're going to Rampage. Sorry, Candace. Everyone, Candace is going to be in Italy. She has an amazing trip planned with her husband. So she's not joining us this time around.
That's all right. It's okay.
Is it?
Rampage.
No, it will be. I will be posting on stories and rooting for the girls just from very far with an Aperol.
I actually think my printing face of Candace is coming up pretty soon. We're gonna have a face out.
I thought we already discussed this. I thought it was happening.
No, it's coming. It's being delivered soon.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I can't wait to see it.
We cannot wait to forget. Yeah. We've got some folks live here on the stream. We've got Mark, the segment, super huge support of us. Mark is here. We got Trail Pimp, MTB, Sheen Queen. Kim is in the house. I love Kim. She's absolutely amazing. Kim's the best. Have you guys seen Kim? She rips. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked already. Candace, take us away. You are the moderator for this podcast tonight. And this is you, baby. You go.
I know. Who assigned me this job? Good grief. Yeah. What are we talking about today? No, I'm just kidding. So obviously, I think that the first thing we need to roll into is the history of Rampage and just why it's so significant for this year.
Yes, very true. So some people may not know, but Rampage has been around for a really long time, 2001, I think it was. And the women are competing for the first time ever. This is absolutely insane. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be giddy the whole time. So Rampage has been around for a really long time, 23, 24 years, probably about the same time as Cierra's been alive.
I'm gonna be ready for those all night, though.
All night. It's nothing but love. We love each other. This is our love language to each other. So Rampage has been around for a while, and from what we've been able to find so far, the rules haven't changed in terms of how many folks the women can have to help them dig. So I believe it's a crew of 3. It's the rider and 2 diggers that they can have. Which I think is the same in formation. Cierra, you know more about formation than I do. Formation came about a couple of years ago, started by Katie Holden and Rebecca Rush, and they put this together as a progression camp for the women. But I'll let you talk a little bit about it because you are way more versed than I am on formation.
Yeah, so very similar. I mean, the whole reason formation was started was because of this lack of the women at the event. I mean, Rebecca Rush talked about it, I think, on Instagram, and she mentioned, she was there. She was like, hey, where are all the women? And there was this huge need, for a progression series, right? It was never about that the women couldn't do it. It's that they didn't have the tools, the events, the support, the places to go progress that were readily available to the women. So, after a lot of discussion, went on in 2017, boom, it was 2019 and the first Red Bull formation happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really just took off from there. All the women needed was a chance to progress. That's all it was. It's always about having those equal opportunities. And the coolest thing about this was, I don't know about you guys, but the internet trolls are always like, oh, this will never work. This will never work. Well, case point, you all are wrong. And to make even a better point, the men that have been pioneers since 2001 have been, steadily behind this. And I think that's so important because it was never men against women. It was about free ride for all,
Exactly. That's always what it's been about, is free ride for all, right?
Well, I wonder, like, why did it take so long for Red Bull to even come around to the idea of having women? Like, is it like, oh, well, there's no demographic for people to watch this, or there's not enough women willing to jump off cliffs? Like, yeah, I
Who
mean, I know that
knows?
there's factors there, but it's kind of like, well, seriously, why wasn't anybody like, like, I mean, you can make money off of it, just like,
Yeah, who
like
knows?
more athletes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to speak really to like, I'm sure there's so many reasons, right,
Yeah.
that they can justify. But with the advancement of women's sports, like this move we're on, and it's not a moment, it's a movement, right? Like this is
Yeah.
happening. And like once again, here I am speaking about opportunity. You put women on TV, you give women the spotlight, you show them that like the sports are still exciting sports. It doesn't matter who's playing them, who's riding, who's doing what, right? Like
Yeah.
put them out there to watch and they will consume it. They will come. People want to see it. So I mean, I know why they did it now. I mean, we all know why it kind of happened when it did. I mean, or you think you know why, right? Because like, how could you not?
Well, and I also think like it was pressure for sure, but I loved how there was this whole movement online, more positive than negative, of like, yeah, hold my beer, watch me do this line.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Katie Lowe posted all those photos of like side by side. Here's Cam Zink hitting this line. Here's Hannah Bergman hitting the same thing, right? Like, I think that was just absolutely sick. And we're getting there. Dude, as evident that everyone wanted this, I think the tickets for just the ladies sold out in less than 5 minutes just to watch the ladies ride.
Yeah. You know, and people like Katie Lowe, like shout out Katie Lowe right now.
Yeah.
Women's events forever, like to be able to showcase that and also be able to tell a story that people, really connect with and can see. Because it's one thing to hear, the women are doing the same things as the men, and it's so powerful to see it, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And, I think that kind of goes into Candace, am I jumping ahead? What was one of the things we were going to be talking about after this was the
location, like out in Virgin. Yeah. It's I think it'll be hard for us to stay on task really because it's so much.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah. But no, that's definitely just, talking about location and the women digging, which, Katie posted today that it was their first day, right?
Yesterday, I think Katie Holden posted them getting their numbers, and I'm going to try and share my screen here with you guys so you can see it, because I just think it's absolutely crazy.
That maybe don't know what we mean by like getting their numbers. What does that mean? And you'll be able to see right here, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you can see like it's official.
Look
at the Stoke.
I know. Oh man, like to be one of those girls right now, like.
Yes. Look at that. Like, dude, this is just. It like gives me like goosebumps. I almost started crying yesterday when I saw this because it's such a huge day for women in now sport. Like, oh goodness. And so, from what we've been able to find, the location where they're digging is brand new, is literally virgin ground, which is really exciting.
Wait a second. It's new for the women, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
New for the women.
New to the women. Untouched. And earlier today, Chelsea did a really quick live stream where she talked about where she's digging, what she's thinking of doing, and like she showed where the top platform is and that she might do a gap jump, a canyon jump. And I was like, holy crap, that looks like a 40-foot gap jump. Like insane, you guys. Absolutely insane.
So that was part of the thing with Rampage is I don't think I ever really thought that much into what's going with the trail building, because I guess I just thought those trails were built for this event, but not necessarily designed around the riders and what they want to showcase and do, right? So that's essentially what happens is that these athletes can kind of say, yes, I'm willing to jump over this, or I want to jump over this. Canyon. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm gonna build it and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, especially like when the masses start to see, just, Cam Zink backflipping a canyon jumper or something, right? Like they don't see like all the things that went into there, and that like he built this line, they built this line, and now the women get to break ground and they get to go in and they know their skills. It's not, well, should I do this because it'll look at it? It's like, no, everyone knows their skills, but it really is artistry. I mean, that's what I think is beautiful about this. They get to go in with a blank canvas and paint their ride, right? Paint their own thing. And it's cool because like all the different styles of the riders, unlike a lot of the other, maybe like free ride competitions where it's set jumps, right? The course is set. There's something so beautiful and artistic about what the riders get to do by making their own lines. And you just don't get anywhere else.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mia.
The fact that they can do kind of like you were saying, a blank canvas where they can pick whatever gnarly, steep, technical terrain they want, features or no features, like wooden features or not, and just send it. It's scarily, amazingly insane all at the same time.
It like gives me chills so much.
Well, doesn't it feel so fitting too that like, obviously where the men are competing, this is the site of the 2018-2019 Rampage, but the women are competing on a different section of this zone, right? So untouched. I feel like that's so poetic for what this is, the first Rampage, right? Like they don't have to go and like be, thinking like about any of the lines that have been created before, right?
Yes.
Like, just pure. And I think that also gets back to the entire essence of what like free ride mountain biking is.
And just to be clear, after Rampage is said and done, are those lines like still on these cliffs and people are up to them whether or not they're gonna ride that? Or is it kind of like they destroy the trail lines and so forth so that people don't ride that? Like, do y'all know?
I understand. Like, I don't think like the big access stuff, like the really big features, like you can't really get in there. But like, I could be wrong. I'm just gonna assume that's from like a safety thing that no one can get on those. And
I don't know, dude.
What do you think, Mia? Like,
I've seen people. I've seen people go on there. I've seen people go on the lines and ride it. I don't know if it's the exact same ones, but I've seen people hike a bike up there and
people are definitely biking up there. Like people, I mean, these riders, these ladies, like they've been out there in the desert practicing on the features, but for the sake of like whether they can ride like the exact features that after Rampage, like anyone can ride them.
I don't know.
Defer to that one. Message us later and we'll let you know.
Let us know in the comments. If any of you guys have any extra history on Rampage, like please let us know. I love the comments coming in on YouTube, and I'm also monitoring some of them are coming into that platform that we're using, Riverside. So if you're not seeing your questions, I apologize, but this all gets recorded after the fact. For now, I wanted to quickly bring in our first guest. We are going to have a few other guests throughout the show. We've got Jess Hanna coming on in about 15 minutes. Because she was supposed to come with us, but she's got a lot going on in her life. So it's awesome that she at least came on. She's going to come on and chat with us. And then later on, we're going to have Hannah Bergman come on and chat with us for a little bit, which is going to be awesome. So stick around for that.
I have a fun story about Hannah.
I know. And then, but right now, I wanted to bring on a guest. Becca, you guys know her. She's worked with us before. She's been involved in helping us get some information because she's very, very passionate about free ride, and she does some amazing things for the women in that realm. And she also runs the meme page, Girls Pull Out, Not Out with Carly. So let's bring Becca in for a few questions. And let's see, is she going to come on? How's this going to work?
No,
Let
Becca
in. Here we go.
Of knowledge.
Here's Becca. What's up, girl?
Hi.
What is up?
Hi, ladies. How's it
Welcome
going?
to the StreamYard. I mean, to the stream platform thingy.
The StreamYard.
I can't.
What is this? Like the longest yard? Are you Adam Sandler? I don't know what happened.
Becca, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We all know that you are a huge supporter of all things women's free ride and mountain biking in general. So you've helped us gather some information, and you're going to be on standby helping us with anything we need. But I kind of wanted to ask you, like, what are you looking forward to seeing at Rampage? Like, what's your number one thing you're looking forward to seeing at Rampage?
Oh man, and you didn't give me any of these questions ahead of time, so I got to think about
this.
I mean, watching these women obviously is like a creeper from the sidelines, right? It's like all things just loving seeing these rad baddies killing it at Crankworks and being invited to these other showcase events like Dark Fest and everything else. Their progression has been crazy. It has been amazing. And the vibe is so great. The support is massive in the entire mountain biking community, right? Like this isn't like I know we've all said, this isn't about just like women. This is about just supporting mountain biking in general. Yeah. So I think it's kind of just here as women, like it's happened. It is heard. Women have their own category here at this massive event that a lot of people consider to be the biggest mountain biking free ride event in the world. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, this is literally historical, right? Like similarly to when women were first allowed to compete in the Olympics, or a woman was first allowed to run a marathon. Like this is massive, that type of inclusion. So absolutely, just to see it at all, game on. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah. That's so true.
Is Red Bull still invite only for athletes? Is that still how they do their, okay.
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
So you're not submitting, like here's my prerequisites for jumping canyons and gap jumps.
Yes. So from what I understand, and either of you two correct me, Mia, Cierra, what I understand is that this is invite only. They previously, I think for a couple of years, they had Proving Grounds, which was kind of like a qualifying event, which Casey Brown was the first woman that was invited to that, which was epic. And it was amazing to see her to be included in a qualifying event, set up to be a qualifier for Rampage. Unfortunately, she was injured during that, so she wasn't able to continue on. So to see Casey Brown, who's like free ride mama, like, that's great. So yes, from what I understand, yes, this is still invite only with alternates. Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think out of the alternates, unfortunately, a couple of the ladies did get injured. Michaela Gatto is on standby, another freaking amazing rider, and I can't wait to even just interview her when we get there. But also, like, just the chance that these ladies have to be there, like, dude, I can't. I'm seriously lost for words. You guys are gonna have to like fill in here because I can't articulate how I'm feeling right now.
That is rare.
No, it was seeing it happen, I think everyone kind of thought it was going to happen last year. If I'm projecting a little bit, but I think the thought was a little bit that it was possibly going to happen last year after Formation, which was the women's kind of free ride showcase event in the desert, was like the plug was pulled on that from what it seemed, with like maybe not a whole lot of explanation. So the thought process, at least the way it trickled down, was, oh, maybe that women are going to be invited to Rampage this year. And when that didn't happen, it just kind of created this, well, what do you mean? Well, what about, and yeah, I know that I was definitely on a side of things that were frustrated and really wanted to see things change. But luckily those voices were heard, so it's amazing to see that the tides are turning and women are part of it. Well, what about, and I know that I was definitely on a side of things.
Someone had some playing in the back. Okay.
By me.
No, it's all good. Becca, you said something earlier that is very true. Like, it's the first time comparing this, the first time that women are competing to the first time women ran a marathon or were able to be included in certain areas, right? Like, not a lot of people know this, or maybe some of you do. I was a volunteer. I was the translator for the Brazilian women's soccer team at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. And I was there with the women's team watching them play against the US team, and like the US team with Mia Hamm and all those amazing athletes. And there was 300 people in the stands, like 300 people in 2000, like 24 years ago. And then last year, the women's soccer, 80,000 people in the stands, you guys. Like, I was crying. My brother took my 3 nieces to watch it. And like, I'm Brazilian born, my family's all from Brazil. So for me, that was absolutely insane. And I cannot wait to see where free ride is going to be just 5, 10, 15 years from now. Like, imagine all the girls watching this being like, I want to do that crazy shit off the side of the cliff right there. Like, you know.
Exactly. If you build it, they will come. I mean, I know that there's been interviews. I remember thinking of an interview of a young shredder. She must have been under 10, and she was killing it on these little features and this and that or whatever. And she was being interviewed, and it was, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to do in mountain biking? And she's like, to ride Rampage. Like, duh.
Yeah.
And it was before women had even been included, like, officially a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's already there. The women riders are already there.
I want to just quickly segue to a story. So I want you to hear this too, Becca, before we let you go. Cierra shared something with me the other day about Rampage. I'll let you take it away, Cierra. So for those of you who came in late, Cierra was the first women's pro free ride downhill enduro, like freaking machine at 10. She'll correct me again and say it's 15. But tell me, Cierra.
I didn't do free ride, but shout out to my ladies because you are tougher than me. But no, I did a race, and yeah, I do have a really rad story. And this is, I kind of forgot like that this happened because it was so ingrained in just like who I am. But looking back now, it has such a massive impact and implication. It's where we are. So, like I said, like I've been riding mountain bikes since I was 8. I started racing when I was 10, and I live in Reno, Nevada. So high desert, so much open land. And my dad, my grandpa, we would all go out there, and we would just find cool natural drops to drop off of, and we would make our own little lines and things like that. And I remember watching Rampage and being like, yes, like I'm doing that. And my dad would be like, yeah, girl, like you're going to be in Rampage one day. And, I had no freaking doubt that I was going to do that. But this just goes to show you, 20 years ago when I was doing this, like there was a need for it then. So you can't tell me like that there aren't going to be a bunch of little girls going in their backyard,
Yep.
making my line. Do you want to be on my build crew? Like, 'cause that's what I was doing. My little brother, he got no love. Like that man was shoveling, but so it's so cool, like to see this. Like there's a need for it, there's a want for it, and it's so near and dear to my heart because like I was that little kid that was making their own jumps and drops in the backyard, and
yeah,
that's lost nowadays. Like
Yeah.
there's still that.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to let you go, Becca. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the help that you did with us to doing the research and all that stuff. And I appreciate everything that you've done for ladies in free ride, and keep those memes like hot fire, man.
Please. I'm gonna be watching. I know there's gonna be some good ones.
Hot
Here
fire.
for it. Here for it. However we
All
can
right.
advance it. All right. Keep killing it, ladies. Good talking.
Thanks for coming on, Becca.
Bye.
Okay, sweet. I think we're figuring this out, ladies. I
Yeah.
think we're figuring it out.
We do have a good question over here, Mia. I don't know if you want to hear what Carrie has to say. It's in Riverside chat.
Let me see. Oh yeah, Becca goes, do I hit leave? Yes, I think you do. Yeah, so we had someone ask, is the prize money the same? And will there be a People's Choice Award, Spirit Award, Toughness Award, Style? That is a great question. We will find out for you, Carrie. We don't know.
Yeah, because is this like there's judges, right? So, I mean, someone's pushing out points.
Okay, I got it. So the top 5 men and women will receive the same prize money.
Which is what?
Nice.
That is, let's see. You guys are getting ahead of me. I can only like millennial so fast, okay?
While you look that up, again, a huge shout out to Becca for helping us out with some of this stuff. And I'm stoked she was able to come on and talk to us about it.
I know.
Yeah,
She does some really good, like she's like fangirling for sure. And she has been for a while on this. So really nice to have her on.
Yeah. Yeah. She's so knowledgeable with all this stuff, you know, all this free ride stuff. And she's also a killer rider in her own mind. So,
yeah.
Okay. So let's see. What do we got here? We talked about, Cierra, like I loved you sharing that story of you doing the drops and the mini drops with your dads when you were a kid, trying to replicate Rampage. That's sick.
Yeah, dude, I mean, shoot, you know those little plastic skateboard ramps? Like,
yeah,
that's what I was doing. I was coming to school with like scuffed up elbows. People are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You wouldn't understand."
You don't know any of this.
Not even relatable. Don't even try.
Don't worry about this. I'll do it again.
Well, wait. So y'all were also discussing, this might be related to the location, but it says include collaboration between men and women. So does that mean that the men and women collab on like trail building? Is that what you're saying? Or
well, let's be honest, right? Like all these athletes, they're all friends, right? If you're in this community, like you know people, and it really is all about collaboration, right? So some like riders are going to be on some people's build teams, right? People that maybe aren't competing but are rad riders and know the terrain well. Also people that know the person well, know their style of riding, and people that are just downright dependable.
Yeah.
Right? Collaboration is so important because it gets back to it. It's not a they versus us. It's it's all the riders are out there for their own thrills and to push themselves, but to be safe too, because at the end of the day, like these are humans too, as much as it's like rad to see someone do in something insane to push the limits of the sport. We also have to remember, like they have families, they have pets that are gonna if something gonna happen. So it is about collaboration. I think that's a huge part. And who was it? I believe there was an interview recently that they said like collaboration is key, because if you go into it alone, you're kind of like left out to dry, right? Like it's a massive undertaking, and that's why there are teams. I mean, can you imagine just a rider like, let me trick my bike up, let me build this, let me try it. Like it's insane, and I'm pretty sure that's how it used to be.
Yeah, probably. Someone who just hopped on right now. Let's let this person in here, and our other guest for the evening, who might have a lot to say about Rampage, is Miss Jess the Maker, who is joining us right now.
Whoa! Whoa!
You lady, you got glasses on.
My
style right now, Jess.
Cierra, yeah, girl, I'm inspired.
Thank you. I mean, as someone who loves those glasses, I can't. I'm actually sad I don't have a pair handy right now to grab, because I would put them on.
Sorry, there's like a weird delay, so I don't know what to do. Oh, I know why.
Just the Maker.
Because I'm watching the podcast at the same time, like a dum dum. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm having a hard time. There we go. I think what y'all saw was me like sitting here with my mouth open for like a good 30 seconds because I didn't realize I had the YouTube open in another channel. No, these glasses, I'm totally copying Cierra's style. I saw her wearing these over the summer and I was like, I need them. Except these are a little different. These are the yellow.
No, I don't get it twisted, Jess. I also have those ones too.
Of course you do.
You know
Of
what,
course you do.
Cierra? You need to bring those to Rampage so that we can mimic Jess at Rampage, because Homegirl was going to come with us, but I know you got a ton going on right now, Jess, which is why we wanted to have you on to ask you, like, what are you looking forward to seeing at Rampage?
I mean, all the things.
All the things.
One,
Specific.
I mean, having watched Rampage and, for many years, and then Formation, and now being able to see this as one event, one unified event, and then that, seeing these women just freaking crush it. I think my palms get so sweaty. I'm sweaty just thinking about it. I've been to one of the Rampage sites.
You have?
Yes, and I couldn't even walk in enough to I was like, people ride down this, like, it just, when you see it in person. So I'm really excited for you, Mia and Cierra. I mean, Cierra, have you been to the site?
I haven't.
One of the sites?
Like, I haven't actually been to it, but like, I cannot wait for to experience that awe, because like, I think until you're there, you don't really even have a sense of what that means, right? Totally.
And when you're there, and I thought I'd asked somebody, like, how do you get back up to the top? And I want to say that they're like, hike a bike. You can't really get to the top except for just getting your ass back up there. Anyway, so just kudos goes out to all these.
You need to launch off the cliff with a parachute, jump into your underwear onto your bike, do a backflip, and then land that sucker. And do that. Like,
I would need multiple, Candace, I would need multiple underwear changes in between runs. Because the runs, you get it?
The runs.
Ayo.
So Jess.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Because we're going to get to interview these amazing athletes when we're there. We're going to do a bunch of content. It's going to be absolutely sick. So we're trying to see if folks have questions that they want to ask some of these athletes. Do you have like a specific question or something in mind? And if you text it to me later, if you can't think of something now, but if you have something that you want to ask them, like, what would it be? If you had one question.
I think, well, I guess it depends when you're asking the question. I would love to know, after they do their runs, like, do they want to do it again? Like, do they want to compete again? Like, is this like I don't know. I'm just curious. And, then also the question about the underwear changes. How many of them are there?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That is
I'm going to ask that question.
That is a good point, though, because it's like, okay, you make it, you survive, right? And like, you're not injured. But like, are you kind of like, man, that was enough for me? Like, I risked it. It was fine. I survived, but like, I'm not doing that one and done, or is it like, you're totally hyped and like just driving off that high of the fact that you just like landed all that stuff.
Right.
And you're like, I got to go bigger and harder for next year or whatever. So I'm sure everyone's different, but
I'm sure. Yeah. I would. And it's funny. I do have a story, Mia.
Go for it. Tell us.
So, unfortunately, we all know Hannah, got injured, so will not be competing. But in lieu, Chelsea is taking that spot, and I actually met Chelsea. This is like pre me doing Instagram. I was living on the road at the time, and I was riding at Bootleg Canyon.
Oh God.
And I look up and I see these two riders coming down what looked to be one of the scariest lines there for sure. And the rocks there are sharp and scary. And I was like, oh my God. And I see them come down and they take off their full faces. And, I didn't know who they were, but one of them was Chelsea and the other person was Ryan Rodriguez. And it was so nice of her. I don't know what about me she thought I would want to go for a lap. She was like, hey, do you want do you want to come? Do you want to do a lap with us? And I was like, looked at myself and I was like, no, absolutely not. I do not want, thank you for the invite. And I thought, but one, like, I mean, she is so sweet. Like, she's such a sweet person. And she's the only one repping USA on the lineup. So,
yes.
you know, I think all of them are going to just crush it, but I'm like, you know, inside I'm like rooting for Chelsea because she's an awesome person and rider. And
I connected with Chelsea and she's going to be one of the ladies that hopefully we can get the day after the comp to talk to them. Cause the last thing I want is to like bug them with any questions or anything beforehand. That they're probably in like this mindset of just super focused and, you know, so I'm going to tell her that Jess wants to go on a lap with her at the next Red Bull Rampage site.
Jess does Red Bull Rampage.
Wow. There's a video in itself. There's a video right there.
Would come in real handy to figure out how to work it all now.
I can't even operate the Insta 360, let alone I can't even. I just wow, impressive. They're all very impressive.
Goodness. You know, we've got a few folks in the chat right now too. I'm just now looking at it. Even the Colorado kid has joined us right now.
My
Joe
buddy.
himself,
My pal.
All right,
we got
Jess,
some
I have a
great
question
folks.
for you. Earlier this week or late last week, Candace put in the Instagram stories of the network, like, how much money would it take for you to like do a run? And I want to know.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
you don't
like,
even
name your price.
How much? How much do hospital bills cost? A lot, right?
You don't even have to trick anything. Just
no tricks.
No tricks. I'll even compromise with you.
Yeah.
But there's still like huge drops.
I mean,
how am I going to get over that canyon gap?
You don't have to do the drops. Like, there's other lines.
Look at her face.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to send the drop, but like just to make
put a down payment on a helicopter because you'll have money after. You just gotta, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
An IOU, do the thing, and then pay him after.
Okay, so I think
maybe a couple million.
Couple mil.
Couple mil.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh God! Imagine like the crowdsourcing. Everyone. That would be if that happened. I'd be like, really, guys, really?
Like, I'm not doing it.
I'm trying to sell stickers and stuff. You can't just buy a sticker. You got to send me the Rampage. Come on.
The GoFundMe starts today for Jess the Maker Rampage 2025.
Oh my God!
Great.
Wow.
That's going to be amazing.
People will
Jess,
always admit.
We appreciate you coming on. And
don't you dare make a GoFundMe. I know I'm looking at Candace and she's like Googling it right now.
I'm gonna put my phone down.
You can't trust Candace with anything. Candace will take it and run with it, and just like the next thing you know, things are happening. It's just happened.
It's gonna let it happen to you. Help you become a millionaire?
I mean, I do, but I also want to live. So it's like I don't know that I would make it down. I mean, I know I could do some stuff, but not that big.
Well,
wow.
On that note, we do have a question on YouTube for you, Jess, from MTD Jen. She's asking, what's the best trick that you can do? She put trick in quotes.
Bar turn, baby. Bar turn all day. All day. Well, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's like when you're on, going off of a jump and you just do a boop. Like sometimes it's on accident. You're just
I do those on accident.
I can wheelie okay, and I can kind of do a rock flip with my if I'm just riding, I can like scoot a rock out with my front wheel. That's fun. But
that's
like
awesome.
If we're talking like jump tricks, then the bar turn, baby. I want to whip though, real bad. I want to whip.
Yeah.
Cierra, you gonna teach me?
I can do my best. You know what I mean? You can't be scared. You gotta rip it off the lip.
That's the part that I'm like, but which way do I go? And I think I'm in my head about it. I'm like, I make this curve and then which way? I don't know. I think when I do it, I look like a squirmy worm.
Squirmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Right?
Well,
Right.
Ms. Hannah, we appreciate you coming on and talking to us.
Thanks, y'all.
Cierra, I apologize. I think there's a little bit of a delay, so I apologize if I was talking over you real quick. I couldn't tell.
Oh, you're all good.
I really couldn't tell. But Jess, you're the best. We're going. Oh, Cierra, we should do a thing for Jess's head too, like we're doing for Candace.
We should. We're gonna make
We're
a
bringing-
cutout of you and bring you all over Ramble. You know what? We might take you to things and have you ride down stuff. Oh my god, that's great.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Here's the idea, Cierra.
Page.
When we're showing like the line that the women are doing, we're gonna have a photo of Jess on a bike going, and then they're doing this, and then they're going.
Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
As funny as that sounds, could be helpful because you never know really what you're looking at, right?
That's true for perspective.
Yes, you are with us, not just in spirit.
Yeah,
I don't want to
not just in spirit, just a physical cutout of my face.
Yep.
Well, thanks, y'all.
Jess, you're the best. Thanks for coming on.
Have a good night.
We'll see you later.
Do I just push leave? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
See what happens. You know, this is why everyone has to have a residential, millennial.
Oh God, that's hilarious. You know,
she's so funny. It's rad that she has been able to meet Chelsea, and I love that she met her kind of pre-IG fame. That's so rad. And at Bootleg Canyon of all places, I've had my go at Bootleg Canyon. It was a rough one, so definitely props to them.
Yeah. I've never ridden there, but I can't imagine. I think real quick, we'll see if Hannah's going to pop on in a little bit, but we haven't talked about the roster, you guys, the roster of the ladies that are competing.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we've got Casey Brown from Canada. And before that, I should preface that one of the things we're going to try and do when we're at Rampage is to get bike checks of these amazing bikes, like what the bike is, the sponsors, their brakes, all this good stuff. We're going to try and get all that information. But as far as we know, we've got Casey Brown. She's riding for Trek. Casey's from New Zealand, close enough to Australia,
She's a Kiwi.
Close enough. She's Kiwi. She's good people. We've got Camila Noguera from Argentina, another ripper. Man. We've got Robin from New Zealand as well. And if y'all haven't seen Robin's bike already, you guys need to go on her Instagram because that thing is pimped out. Pimped out.
It's insane, honestly. One of the best builds I think I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely insane. We've got Vea from Canada, who's rocking a Rocky Mountain Slayer, as far as we know. Things can change, people.
Good old Canada.
We've got Vero, who is from the UK. Vinnie Armstrong, another Kiwi. They're just pumping them out there, down under. Like,
I know, for real.
The riding down there is like massive and super crazy, like well maintained, but gnarly too. So I feel like it's the same. Like people who grow up in Canada always ride big stuff. Like same with New Zealand,
Yep. We've got Georgia, who's also from Canada. She's on a Da Vinci chainsaw bike. And Chelsea, that we all know, the US specialized bike. She's going to have a sick build. Cierra, what are you looking forward to? Whose bike are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Oh my gosh. That's it's a tough one. I will say that it's definitely a tough one. But I do love the Da Vinci's. They kind of have like a place in my heart. I think they're rad bikes. They always seem to do well in kind of any of that big mountain stuff.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I kind of love Specialized too. So bring one home for the USA. That would be rad. But really, I'm more like stoked on any just one bike. I'm stoked to see like the actual setups, not just like what parts there are, but like how does their suspension react? Like, what tire pressure are you guys running? Like, like that's the kind of stuff like I'm so curious about knowing because like how do you even know that?
All right, we got Hannah just checked in. Should we bring her in?
Bring her in.
Let's see. Here we go. Is it working? Come on.
1, 2, 3.
There she is. What's up?
Hello.
Hannah, how are you?
Not too bad. How are y'all?
Yeah, you know, we're thriving and surviving.
This is Garbo.
Oh,
You kitty.
what's up? Thank you so much, Hannah, for taking the time to join us. I know this was supposed to be a travel day for you, right? But you guys pushed it out to tomorrow or something?
Yeah, we're gonna hit the road tomorrow. We needed an extra day to pack and stuff anyway, but yeah.
As you do, as you do. How are you feeling about Rampage?
I'm really excited to get down to the desert. It, to be honest, is a little bittersweet, but stoked to watch everyone bring it together.
Yeah. How is your recovery coming along?
It's good. I'm like just 4 weeks out of surgery, so I'm starting to be able to walk a little bit and doing some slightly more exciting things at PT. So it's going.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, we're gonna hopefully be able to see you in person out there and hang out and talk all things freeride, because you were like one of the legends, man. You were one of the first to bring this up. You know, Cierra has a story about you.
Yeah.
Dude, Hannah, do you remember I was in Bellingham? I was coaching with Angie Weston and all those ladies, and you were like, oh man, dude, you had to be I don't know, 14 to 16 somewhere, and you volunteered to come be the sweep of our group, and you were with me, and I remember when we were riding in Bellingham, and you hung back a bit, and you were riding down, and I was like, holy crap, you can flip, dude, and I just love that. So it's been so amazing to see you, because I was just like, oh my god, this girl rips. I hope she keeps riding. I hope she races something. Because your skills are unbelievable. And then I'm like, holy crap, look at who that person is growing up to be. Your arc has been amazing to watch. So big fangirling over here. And I'm like, I knew her before she was back.
That's awesome. That must have been 2016 or something.
Straight up, yeah, it really was that long ago.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot has changed from then. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it's so rad. I just can't even believe it, putting it all together now. But yeah, we're sad to see you not out there, but I know that you have probably been chatting with all the ladies. I have a question for you. What is the vibes and what is the stoke around kind of the site and the fact that it's kind of untouched and everyone gets to do, something brand new? Can you give us a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes with anyone you talked to?
Yeah. I haven't gotten any updates on people's lines yet. But the venue is brand new. They've never done any event on it. It's right next to the 2019 site, so they'll kind of be all the athletes will be together, men and women, even though they have their own venues, which is pretty ideal setup actually, because then everyone kind of has their own space, but everyone is still together. They're not on completely separate mountains or anything.
Wow.
And having a brand new slate to work with for the ladies is really cool, because it's going to be a fresh start. They deserve that, to have full creative control over what they're building, and it's not going to have any past comparisons or anything. It's going to be fully fresh, and they'll get to do whatever they want to do. So I think it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, I think the dig day was today. Today was day one. I saw some stories. The ladies were out there digging.
Yep, day one.
Do you have any insight on some of maybe the tricks or the features that you could share with us that they want to do? I know it's probably confidential, but maybe you could share something with us.
I actually have no updates yet. I've been chatting mostly with Cammie and Chelsea, but they haven't given me any information yet. Otherwise, I would happily spill some beans.
I was gonna say, how far ahead are y'all planning these trail lines? Is it?
Well, they just got the very first look at it yesterday. They haven't even seen it until yesterday. So I think they're just kind of scrambling. It's happening fast. Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
So they didn't even know what they were gonna do until last night, and now they're already digging. So yeah, it's really fast paced.
That's insane. Was it like that when you guys were at formation, when you guys got the opportunity to be out there? Was it that fast paced too?
Not quite as fast paced. I want to say we had maybe 2 days to scout. And I think actually at formation there weren't any restrictions on how early you were allowed to go look at the lines, because it wasn't a competition, so there wasn't really like I remember going like a few days before and like riding and hiking around some of the venues with some of my friends and just like getting some ideas, which you're not allowed to do for Rampage. You can't look at the venue, can't set foot on the venue until the first day, which was yesterday. So yeah, formation was a bit more chill in that regard.
Yeah, that's awesome though, dude. I cannot wait to see all you ladies like just kill it in the next like 15 years, because I know you're going to be riding forever, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I know that you are recovering from an injury, but how does someone prepare for an event like this? Like, how are you training for canyon gaps and, you know, all those things?
It's a mix of things. Like the biggest thing for me, my strategy was just to be riding my bike as much as I could. Just the more I ride it doesn't really matter what I'm doing, the more comfy I am and more like just natural I feel. And when the pressure gets crazy and you're dropping in with thousands of people watching, you feel just like, you know, second nature on the bike. Like that was kind of my strategy, was not getting too nitty gritty with the details on training, but really just trying to be super comfy on the bike, but then also having a big variety of riding styles. And so I was spending time at bike parks, like hitting jumps, traveling, and a few tricks I was like thinking, like I was getting a lot of repetition doing. Like I was really working on backflips this year, because that was something I felt like would be something I've wanted to learn for a really long time, and was kind of motivated to really perfect it by Rampage. So that was, for me, that was kind of my strategy, was like a variety of riding every day, a bunch of different locations, having fun, not getting too stressed, and then fine tune a few skills like backflips, some technical riding, pushing myself a little bit every time I ride. That's kind of the strategy.
Do you find that like with every big event that you've gone to that it gets maybe a little easier, or is it just like it's all different, you approach it all different?
For sure. I think the more experience you have, the easier it's, but then that allows you to push it further. So like yeah, like the first time I ever go to an event, and it's the first time I look at the features or the venue, it's always the most intimidating. But then yeah, every other big event you go to, it gets a little easier. You kind of learn your process, you learn how to handle the nerves, and yeah, you get better at it.
Right.
Hannah, I cannot wait to see what you're going to bring next year. Do you have already your eyes on certain competitions or events you're going to want to go to? Like, ooh.
Oh,
wait, we lost her. We lost her.
Oh no.
Oh, there she is.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi's not
another hour.
Sorry, you there, Hannah? There we go. Okay.
All right, can everybody hear each other?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, so I was just stoked I can't wait to see what you're doing next year. Do you have any events you already got your eyes set on? Like obviously Rampage next year, that's a given. But what about like Crankworks and stuff? Do you have Hardline? Do you have other things you're looking forward to next year?
Yes.
Oh no, it's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. We're going to catch up with her next week.
Another question that was like Crankworks, you know what I mean? And what that looks like, right? You know, because like I think could be a good stepping stone for that. But Hannah Bergman, ladies and gentlemen.
Hannah freaking Bergman, who is absolutely amazing.
I know. She's so chill, actually. I just feel like I'm clearly not built for a Rampage, obviously, but like, I just think I'd be on edge, and they're just like so chill, like
so fresh and so chill.
Yeah, I'm like, God, I love that. Like, that's great that you can stay so calm leading up to something like that. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know how. I can't even manage my nerves when I'm riding with friends, let alone when I'm gonna ride in front of thousands of people.
No, right. So. Well, I mean, since we kind of lost Hannah. Do y'all want to discuss what you ladies will be doing at Rampage, just so that our followers can,
Yes.
come
Listen,
and check out our
everyone,
Instagrams and so forth
yeah.
to see where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, let's tell them. Listen, you guys are going to want to follow
Listen.
along, okay? Y'all are going to want to follow along. Mia, myself, Candace will be supporting us because she's amazing. We're going to be out there. We're going to be on the ground. We're going to be giving live updates about any news that's coming out. We're going to be doing recap reels. We're going to be interviewing riders. We're going to have blogs on the bikes, the setups. Are there any changes to the setups? And most of all, we're going to show you like the essence of the event. Because for the first time, so many more people are going to be watching this event, and we want to give everyone an experience of, not only just the news that you can find everywhere, but like what goes on behind the scenes too, right?
Yeah.
Let's bring people into the event, and I mean, we're so stoked to be there, and like, it's historic. The women's first Rampage. How could we not be there, right? So you guys are gonna want to follow us along for sure.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the things that we're going to do is like, Cierra's flying in next week. We're going to drive out on Tuesday. So we're going to be doing some goofy stuff along the way. We're going to stop in Vegas. No, Cierra, we're not going to gamble. No, we're just going to have fun. Like, and during that time, if you guys have questions or something you want to see, and if we can show it, we'll show it to you guys. Like DM us either through the network Instagram or myself or Cierra. Candace is now the one doing a lot of the network Instagram, and she's doing a killer freaking job on it. But she's going to be out of the country, people. So it's going to be left to us to kind of manage it. So I apologize if we take a minute. But with that said, follow us for all the things. All the things.
And support us. Like, this is a lot of work for just 2 of the team members to be there. So, like,
yes,
give us some grace, because, you guys can only do what you can only do with 2 people. But also, it's hard work.
Yeah. And
I got major FOMO. So.
Nah, you're going to be there next year, Candace. Don't even.
We're going to get everything lined out for you for next year. That way.
Yeah.
Oh, this is true. You're going to have just the whole work schedule. Like, this is what we learned.
Yes. Everyone that tuned in, we appreciate you guys so much. We have so many cool people out in the chat. I was mentioning them earlier. We've got Mark, The Segment, MTV Sheen Queen, Mountain Bike Q&A. A lot of these folks have amazing YouTube channels. Please go and help and support them too. Becca from Brave Endeavors, like, Becca is the shit. She's such an amazing coach. Go follow her. MTV Jen's in the house. David Hansen, we don't know who he is, but he's also pretty cool. The Colorado Kid popped on. Joanna Yates is in the house. We've got Jess, as you know, she's in the house. Carrie Johnson, like, guys, thank you so much for coming along and support us and for watching this and share our content, get our name out there. We're trying really hard to be that one-stop shop for everyone for women's MTV content. We're going to get there. 2025. We have some amazing things planned for 2025, you guys. And we cannot share it. Yeah.
The Rampage merch.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Candace. See, Candace keeps us in track. This is why Candace is amazing. We did limited edition merch. So you can go on our website. It's like right on the front page. We came up with some really cool slogans. And we think it's pretty bomb. Like, love the feedback. Let us know. Hopefully in the future, we're going to work out and do merch with other folks. We're going to do collabs. I'm looking at you, just the maker.
Yep.
But,
for Mark and for Johnny, maybe a Speedo will make.
Ooh.
Since they were all talk about that.
Given the slogan right now, I want you all to think about how funny that would be.
Yes. Yes. Her Ride, Her Vibe Speedos for Johnny and Mark. I mean, they wanted Speedos. I think we should give them what they wanted. I think we should do that.
We do have props, fellas. So if y'all want to grab a prop, go for it.
Well, with that said, we appreciate y'all just hanging in there and being with us this evening as we talk to some special guests and the amazing Hannah Bergman. as well, who was gracious enough to join us. Yeah, stay tuned. Starting Tuesday next week, you guys are going to get nothing but Rampage from us. So we appreciate that so much.
I hope y'all are ready because we are Rampage.
We ready. We ready. Have a great night, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, let's see if I can do this